What's up, all you guys and gals out there, pro protectors of life, pro Second Amendment, pro righteous defenders of life, all of that, right? I hope that covers it all. We got a good one for you today. Jeremy with Middle Tennessee Firearms Training here to talk about a topic that it gets discussed out there. It's out there. People talking about it every day, and it doesn't stop the question from entering into the classes that I teach or the classes I attend. There's always, well, what's the best gun for home defense? What firearm should I pick for home defense? Well, I'll tell you the best one. I've got the answer for you. It's the one that you train with and are most familiar with and are most confident with and are good with, right? You are good to go with it. Yeah, I know that seems a little clickbait-ish there, but I did it. So let's talk, though, a little bit more about that, because I've got some things I want to show you here. We got the pistols, we've got some shotguns, and we've got a rifle, because those are the three most popular platforms. Really, the only three platforms out there. You got revolvers, maybe you've got, I don't know, a baseball bat. Baseball bat probably actually is surprisingly one of the most common home defense weapons out there. Unfortunately, I could be wrong about that, but that seems pretty good. But let's talk a little bit about this, okay? So I've got three pistols here. No, this isn't all. This isn't all. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But let's talk about them. I got a 365 here. By the way, for all you internet warriors that are about to start typing, he didn't safety check. Trust me, they've all been safety checked off camera. I don't bring any hot weapons onto the set here, so safety checked. They're all good to go. We got a 365 comp Legion series, overpriced little pistol here with a micro dot on it. Very good, fun shooting gun, very reliable gun. I like this gun a lot. Those who know and train with me and shoot competitively with me know that I really like to shoot my 365s. Great gun, and I have more than one. I have lots of 365s. What do we got here? You know, in case I'm feeling some of the nostalgia from the 80s and 90s and need to be some like, you know, Martin Riggs or some John McClane and Die Hard and fighting off Hans Gruber. I got a Beretta 92 here. That's pretty awesome. Really gets the job done, I think. Full-size gun. You feel real good and special when you're holding something like this. Yes. Maybe that's not enough for you, so you venture up to the old P320 chambered in 10 millimeter. Yeah, that'll stop a bear breaking into your house. Anybody have a bear break into their house in the middle of the night and they need a 10 millimeter? Boom, let's do it. It's great. But maybe that's just not enough for you either. Maybe not enough for me even. Maybe you want to spice things up a bit and head towards the old Beretta A300 with a special paint job specifically for home defense, right? Yeah. You know that sound? Ooh, yeah, that one. That's what bad guys don't want to hear, because when they hear that, they take off running, right? They just leave. That's what the guy at the gun store tells me. Yeah. Maybe that's just too much and they need to kind of walk it back just a little bit. Maybe it needs to be more CQB oriented. Well, that's where this guy comes in, right? A little pump action here. Yeah, with a side saddle for extra shells, you know, in case you encounter a lot of bad dudes. But it's semi-auto or pump action here, so you're not semi-autos, it's pump action. So yeah, you better be fast on that, right? Know how to clear some malfunctions in a shotgun if you need to. But this will do the bill, right? Maybe shotgun's just not your cup of tea. So you know where I'm going with this. Maybe you go to that AR-15 platform, in this case an AR-15 pistol. The AR pistol platform's fun. It's, you know, shorty. Weapon light on there. Yeah, that's good. 30 rounds of awesomeness. That takes care of it, right? And it's nice and, you know, just compact. Got a lot of firepower here in a pretty small package that you can maneuver in your house with pretty easily. Where I'm going with this is whatever you choose, be comfortable with it. You know, I talk to people about, hey, they ask me why I have so many 365s. Is it because you're afraid one's going to fail and you need to have an extra one for classes? No, I mean, it's good to have a backup gun, right? But I choose to, if I'm going to have an extra gun on me or extra gun in the truck, I'd like it to be one that I'm very familiar with. So in this case, a 365. No, that's not necessarily meaning that's exactly what I'm going to go to in a, home defense situation. But if the three guns that were up here right now, what I had to go with, it's going to come down to either the 320x 10 millimeter or the 365. And some of y'all are like, well, obviously go with the 10 millimeter, the higher caliber there, and it's just a mean round. It'll get the job done. You're right, but I am more confident and comfortable with what I've been able to train and how many thousands of rounds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours I've put into training with a 365. Now, where does that leave this Beretta up here? This Beretta is like, hey man, what the heck? I'm awesome. You know, I freaking am all the jazz and all the action flicks of the 80s and 90s. You're right, but I literally don't have thousands of rounds into this gun, or even on the Beretta 92 platform at all. It's not that the gun's difficult, but picture it like, you rented a car. What do you do when you first get in that car? You gotta adjust the mirrors, maybe you adjust the radio presets, you adjust the seat to try to feel more comfortable. But those first little bit, that first little bit of time in the car, you gotta learn how sensitive the accelerator is, the brakes, where does the car end on the back end. Either way, when you're parking it, everything just feels different. You're not as comfortable as you are in your car, right? The car that you've gotten used to and putting miles and miles and thousands of miles down on, and hours and hours and hours of driving. Now you've just jumped into a different car and you're having to learn just some of the nuances, some of the differences, some of the things that aren't quite the same. Sure, it's all similar. If I absolutely had to go shoot this thing right now and actually run an IDPA match, yeah, I could probably do pretty solid with it. I could probably do some of my normal everyday routines with it pretty well, but I haven't dry fired practice with this a lot. There's a little bit difference there. This is semi-auto in a single double action trigger. There's a little bit of difference there in the trigger press between that and a striker fired gun like the 365. There's some things that are just different. It will behave differently while operating. Malfunction clearing in shotguns and versus rifle and pistol, they're all different. So again, coming back to the center of this, whatever you choose, there's no wrong answer there, unless it's a high point. That's pretty wrong. Yeah, don't pick a high point. I mean, it dubs as a hammer. You could definitely club somebody to death with that thing, but just don't pick a high point. Anyways, but whatever you choose, be comfortable with it, be confident with it. More importantly, have it be something that you feel really good that if you absolutely had to, you could do what needed to be done. You could make those righteous moves and decisions without hesitation because you're like, well, I don't know about this because or you're not as good or you're not as accurate with it. The guns are all accurate. It's the shooter. It is the person behind the gun, the person holding the gun that absolutely needs the training on how to use it. So when you're coming to that point of trying to decide what you're going to use for home defense, whatever you choose, shotgun, rifle, pistol, whatever, pick one that you're going to actually take to the range and practice with. Maybe you don't need to put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. Maybe you just need to get to a point where you're good and confident and you can manipulate the gun, confidently and that sort of thing. Am I asking you to go out there and train as much with your home defense gun as you would your carry gun? No, not necessarily, but it would be a good idea. It would be a really good idea to be up and comfortable with that gun just like you are your carry gun. If it's me personally, the order in which I'd went, I talked to you a little bit about the pistols I'd go with. I would probably skip the shotgun and go right to my rifle. And the reason being is because I have more time on the rifle. There's nothing against the shotgun. Shotgun's got amazing power, especially in some CQB scenarios, some amazing power up close and personal. No disrespect to a shotgun at all. I spent some time doing 3-gun. Again, learned a lot about shotgun. But I still want to fall back to my highest level of consistent training. That sounds familiar in the training world. When the crisis moment hits, you will fall back on your highest level of consistent training. So my highest level of consistent training is spent more time on this particular platform or the rifle platform, then I'm probably going to skip over that shotgun. right? That seems like a no-brainer to me. Speaking of training, and now it's time for the shameless plug of what we're talking about here, is we just mentioned 3 platforms: the pistol, the shotgun, the rifle. We have a collaborative class with Patriot Training up in McMinnville, Tennessee. It's at their facility. We are doing a 2-day course. It is Essential Home Defense, and we are covering all 3 platforms and the application to home defense with those 3 platforms: pistols, shotguns, and rifles. I will be taking the pistol portion of that and teaching that. And Jeff Mayhew, Clay Howell at Patriot Training, Clay Howell being the owner of Patriot Training, will be handling the rifle and shotgun portion. Very excited to do this class. It's going to be a great class. You can find it on their website to register. We'll try to add links. I know we have links in our social media to that class, but it's going to be an excellent collaborative class. We're very excited about doing that with them. But that just flows with the reason that I credit Clay with coming up with the idea of putting all this into one class, because we get this question and we hear about this discussion every day. Somebody asking, well, this is what I got for home defense. What do you have for home defense? And what do you keep next to your bed? And I'm like, still, you're a pervert. I don't want to tell you what's next to my bed. But anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, this is a topic very near and dear because it centers around really the person, not necessarily the tool. You can pick the coolest, greatest tool out there, but if you don't know how to use it well in a real world application of high stress and adrenaline dump moment, it can spell disaster for you. It's not as simple as just point and shoot. Be smart. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If you like the content on the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate that very much. You're just helping us get the word out there to folks. We want to train with you on the range. Check our schedule. We've got our spring schedule up, and we've got a busy year ahead with a lot of exciting things happening. So please check us out. Also, big training events coming forward. I already mentioned the collaborative there with Patriot Train. We will have guest instructor stuff happening later this year. Look for another announcement happening with that. I appreciate you guys very much. Hope to see you on the range. Educate, train, defend. See you next time.